Alright, records put away. Time to jump into the game for that. This city's getting rather big, so. We just started, we've just finished in this playthrough, building our large temples. So population jumped up quite rapidly in a pretty short period of time. So hopefully we can do that again. Current population is 1,800. Want to get it up to 5,000 today if possible. These are the two temples that we constructed, which are pretty rapidly increased our population by a couple hundred. Good, or maybe more than that even. I've kind of gone with like this bunch of really small buildings kind of system, which seems kind of neat so far at the very least. So we're kind of doing that. Trying to think what else. I think that this game must have broken achievements in recent stats, because there's a achievement for having 1,000 people in your city, and it claims I only have 122. Anyway, if you're excited to see some more Songs of Six, gotta get around to beers. I'm just curious about how many people are listening to the stream mostly. Kind of a quiet start because we did get started late today. But yeah, today's just gonna be a lot of expanding on housing. We also need to get a lot more jobs up and running. We've got all of these fields. Are we close-ish to, we need to build another mine here. Also, actually, you know what? I've got all these extra workers. Let's just crank up the coal production, because that's something that we are exporting. We'll just, crank that up. 6 beers? Yeah. I thought about doing Long Death today, but honestly, I kind of just wanted to play more of this. Just kind of super enthused with this playthrough, and I know that like patches tend to break saves for this game, so I kind of want to just get as far in as I can currently. Where is that? That's what we need. So I can go up to here. Get mining too, because I want to unlock this, which requires a lot. 600. All right, well, is there anything else I can mine? I mean, there's this. This is an ore deposit. It's actually not a bad ore deposit. Not a great ore deposit, but it's a ore deposit. We're just gonna kind of do about this. Like that. Problem is, if I right-click to see where I'm building this again, it cancels the thing, so. Guess that's the size we gotta make it. All right, well. Make that into a little mine. Also, chat investments are open if you wish to invest your tickets. There was an error with a recent Steam purchase. You don't say, Steam. I just received 2 emails about there was errors on your Steam purchase. It's like, And what gave you that hint, Steam? But yeah, chat, around here things just are kind of sucking again. I don't know what the rest of the world looks like because I've kind of been hiding from world news. But generally, at least around here, we're more or less back to square one with pandemic-related things, which just, you know, it's just super fucking frustrating to just kind of be back to where we were. But all of that considered, we're trying to just get by, so... me and Kevin have set up 2 different times where we were planning on going to concerts and doing other things. Instead, we're just going to go snowshoeing more times this year. because, you still need to be double vaccinated to get on the bus to go snowshoeing. So we're kind of just banking on that. I mean, in many ways, you are in square one. You're just in square one minus precautions, which is actually worse, right? Like here, it's just frustrating because it feels like we're back to square one where everything's getting canceled again. But I say that with frustrations, but I need to be clear that I would prefer it to be that way than the alternative. Like, I would absolutely prefer it to... I would absolutely prefer to be feeling like we're treading water and not really getting anywhere than, regressing. Which, unfortunately, is what a lot of you guys have to deal with, and I don't... That sucks. It's We have an all-time high COVID cases, and they've only started, and the government does nothing because grandmas and moms are rioting against fascisms. Wait, what part are they calling fascisms? Also, fascisms is a funny thing to say, because I'm so used to people saying I'm rioting against fascists, not I'm rioting against fascisms. But what is, I guess, my only real response to that? I don't actually have a dwarf and a dwarvy squad, so let's make a dwarf squad. That. We have 117 of these guys. So fill out a squad without too much issue. All right, let's do that. And then go into dig and continue digging out sleeping spaces. You're cosplaying a day trader right now? And what days are you trading? Are you trading Friday for Thursday or like a Monday for a Wednesday? This new DF tile set is dope. This unique, unheard of joke has never been said before. How you doing, Anonymous? Although, honestly, like, if there was a tile set for DF that had, like, this kind of, like, bland art style, I'd be super into it. Because I love this, like, look. This game's look is one of my favorite parts of it, actually. Doing well? Good to hear. Good to hear. I'm kind of just, like, back in, like, sad panda mode, because pandemic shit. Well, not necessarily, like, sad, but, like, just annoyed. Annoyed human mode, how's that? I get to read the last Discord story, but I'm going to finish designating this stuff first. Give me a sec. That'll do. All right. Discord story. Add a words. Batman. Scrolling up. What was the last thing I wrote? Coffee beans, jeans, and greens. Violet birds crowned with feathers of style and substance. Mulmerian Mulman attack the mole rats. Assassination attempt on cheese. Poutine is palatable. Can fish truly embark over rivers? Spraying craft barbecue sauce on anything makes it worse. What? Depends on the barbecue sauce. Come on. Pizza. The great party picnic pie. Broken glassware is spiky. You paid a friend and got it withdrawn from your bank balance instead of your Venmo balance, and you're currently at minus $800 in your bank account. And you can't afford gas to work until that's cleaned, so you're just gaming. Good lord, that sucks. But also, okay. So there's one of two ways this could go. Yay, free day off if job understands, or fuck, that sucks if job doesn't understand. So I don't really know how to respond to that. Although being minus $800 in your bank account fucking sucks regardless of whether or not work understand. Okay, being self-employed, that's a lot softer, but like that could be like detrimental to like getting fired levels of bad if you're not self-employed. But okay, perfect. I mean, that's like me sleeping in and being like, sorry guys, I'll feel bad for you later. Just feel like that, fuck it. But man, that sucks though. Last time I went into overdraft in my bank account was because a bill paid itself early out of my account. I wasn't expecting it. And then suddenly it was like, I got an email. It's like, you've paid this and this amount of money to this thing. And I was like, pardon? That's not supposed to happen for 4 days. And I went and checked the schedule, and it like, yeah, on the thing, it was like, it wasn't supposed to happen for 4 days. And then I was like, oh, the next 4 days are a long weekend. So they pulled the bill out before the long weekend. So like, it made sense when I sat down and thought about it, but I don't know what a long weekend is because I'm self-employed and I don't like, you know, I don't like, you know, pay attention to when statutory holidays are happening. I don't fucking know. So kind of felt like a big stupid when that happened, but also like, I guess I kind of deserved it. I don't know. And also I agree with that Axe on Anonymous Strangers not getting Employee of the Month of Anonymous Stranger Incorporated. I'm giving me a handwritten warning about this. Well, I mean, isn't that just like, don't withdraw money from your bank account, only withdraw money from the Venmo, and just sticky tab, plop that on your, on like your screen monitor or whatever you stare at a lot? Seems relatable. But yeah, as a self-employed person, I can say, Axon, that I've never given myself Employee of the Month. Not once. I don't even know how I would do that, to be honest. Like, what's the benefit of me getting Employee of the Month? Maybe buying me a record? I would probably do that anyway. There's no way that you'd earn that role. I think that I only get Employee of the Month if chat decides I get Employee of the Month. All I'd have to do is say it, but then I'd have to compliment myself and not just, like, self-deprecate all the time. You know? Like, then I'd have to do something that isn't beating myself up nonstop. So there's 400 people working at this coal mine. It's kind of a lot, actually. I should, like, make the inside of this area look real cool. I think that's gonna be one of my goals here. I'm gonna just cut all of this out. Especially considering I've grabbed a lot of mining speed tech recently. We're going to make this area into a like underground town thing. That's what we're gonna do. It's a tax write-off to buy yourself a beer as a prize. I'm not sure how I'd explain that one to my tax lady, but like I like your enthusiasm. The thing is, you're probably not wrong, actually. Like, there's probably a way that I could word that like I could pull that off, but although currently I have a hard enough time explaining to my tax lady that I air quotes review records, even that I don't have the rights to play. It's like, yeah, it's a product review. You're reviewing Like, it says here you got Led Zeppelin 4? Do you really need to review Led Zeppelin 4 in the current year? But you're the only employee, yes. I also reward myself with breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Those are my rewards for working. I get to feed myself. So can I discount those too, please? Hey, Psychon, what's up, dude? I hope you've been well. Chat, I've got bad news. This is actually kind of horrific. I just finished my first cup of coffee, and I've only been streaming for 1 hour and 10, meaning I need to pour my second cup, meaning I only have 1.5 left after that. A horror. Coffee pouring sounds. Actually, opening of the thermos with the coffee in it sounds. Pop. Cup 2. You know it, cutest. You know it. You may not earn Employee of the Month, but in all of your previous employment experiences, you're quite good at being the guy they train in every position and underpay to do it. Yep. Yeah, I can certainly attest to that feel. I've definitely been there, done that. Definitely been in that position before, yeah. No idea how much ore this is actually going to produce. I'm going to assume more than nothing. Probably not much, actually. Alright, there is not a lot of ore in this map at all. It's mostly just this coal deposit that's huge. There's a tiny fucking gems deposit over here that I may have to rip somebody's house up for. Because gems are real valuable, so. Also crank that stone mine up to the maximum. I'm just employing all these extra workers that we've got, because I've got a lot of them. Out in here, what's this? Oh, it's just farming for some reason. I thought that was a red square. This isn't a heated thermos, it's just a sealed thermos. I wouldn't put any beverage into any sort of self-heating device. Because I would be worried about... Excellent. They've got plenty of prisoners to sacrifice at this temple. I wouldn't ever put my coffee into a self-heating device because it would do one thing, primarily, which is burn your coffee. It's the same reason you shouldn't microwave coffee. It'll just burn it. Yeah, if you keep coffee on a heated element, it will just burn your coffee. Yeah, unless you like burnt coffee, which I really don't. Not be an enjoyable experience. Who microwaves coffee? People. Allegedly. We've got farms all the way out to here now. Ton of farms. Getting these roads built. And I love the way the mountains look in this game. There's something about them. They just look absolutely wonderful. We've been doing the AeroPress thing. Those are like really popular. People really like AeroPress. I'm gonna fill this whole area up with nicer flooring. People really like the AeroPresses. I've never used one, so they just look kind of I don't want to say dangerous. I feel like because like the way you use an AeroPress, like you put it on a cup, right, and then you press it down. I feel like I would press too hard and flip the cup over. Like I would be so worried about that. Let's just bring all of this stuff down. Or on this side, further. You've absolutely seen someone flip their cup. Yeah, like I was watching a stream the other day of somebody who does like IRL streams, and he was making coffee on his stream, and he uses an AeroPress. And I was watching him just press that down, and it was stressing me out. I'm like, you're gonna flip your mug over, man. How's the civilization? Pretty good. We're getting close to 2,000 citizens. I built my first 2 temples in this game. So we've got the Temple of Aminian and the Temple of Krator. This one sacrifices livestock, and this one sacrifices people. Both seem to be quite happy, and they both have very high satisfaction rates because they're very large and gaudy. And that increased my population pretty considerably. So we're working on things. I'm glad you're enjoying Ubermosh, Squig. Yeah. No, not Minion. A Minion. And there's an A at the beginning. It's their Canadian minions. EH Minion. So expanding upon that plus general housing and such. Yeah. So, just chill city building today. Like I really want to get to the 12,000 population mark, which I think is the last unlock right now. Yeah, 12,000. So I want to get 12,000 population. That is kind of my goal. This is something that like I always forget exists. Like you can change like your flag pattern, which is like very dangerous. Are there monsters in this game? There aren't monsters, but you do get invaded by other civilizations and rebels, and you can invade other civilizations. So up on the world map, like this is us right here, right? I could take my army and we could march up here and siege these people and fight their army of 576, which I have an army of almost 500 right now. If I had like an army of about 1,000 and enough food for them, yeah, we could march up there and fight them. But I have to have enough food to get them up there and get them back. So I'm not entirely sure how those mechanics work because I haven't done it. But I know that it's a thing that you can do. It's just not something I've done. You thought that mountain was a pyramid? We do not have any pyramids now. Oh, wait, you thought this one was a pyramid? These are just like hills that I'm digging into. Are there Z levels? No. Just a single map thing. This is not a DF-inspired game at all, in fact. Which kind of surprised me, but it's very much a city builder first. Like, the developer of this game has never played Dwarf Fortress, so... I played Rise to Ruins a little bit, but before it was called Rise to Ruins, I played it when it was still called Retro Pixel Castles. And it was okay. Bit too much of a god game for me. I'm not super, like, I love the legacy of games like Black and White, but I'm not super into the, here's a map and you have a hand, go cast spells to make your people do thing. Like, not really my aesthetic. Just nothing about the game grabbed me. It's like, it wasn't particularly bad in any way. It was just not particularly interesting. But yeah, I can see why the art style of this would remind you of that. Oh, on the world map, you thought that the mountain was a pyramid. Yeah, no, those are... The mountains are a little intense. But yeah, Dogest and Pound. This is one of those games where it's just like, I wouldn't say that this game is missing anything by not having Z levels. It's actually just gaining clarity. Because like Z levels, if implemented well in a game that needs them, are a fascinating creativity mechanic that adds a lot of depth and variety to your building. In a game that doesn't need them, it just adds unnecessary complexity and just kind of wrecks the game on that basis. This game has a lot of complexity and depth, and it gets it from other places, and it doesn't really need the Z levels. Like, I think that there's actually very few games that benefit from having Z levels. So, that's just my take, but... Okay, hold on a second. Trying to... That's an interesting... That's an interesting bug. Okay. If you hold shift, or if you hold control in this, and you click on a built thing, it's supposed to select the thing that you built. But if I hold control and select this piece here, it doesn't select the road, which is what I'm trying to click on. It selects the dig into mountain tool, which is very strange. It's like, oh, the last tool you used here was digging into this mountain, which is true, but not the tool that I want to use there. Game is chill? Yeah, this game's super cozy. We're goddamn cozy. But this game's super cozy until people start rioting, so... But yeah, Rise to Ruins is, just, yeah, it's just something that never grabbed me. Cozy famine. Yeah, it's just nothing like a little bit of a, you know, a chill end of the world space. But yeah, if you have any questions about this game, feel free to ask. Best to give you accurate answers. Doing on vegetables. Or fruits, rather. Pretty damn good. Meaning... because we're doing all right on the fruits, I can go to these and I can copy these buildings. These are my nurseries for the elves. Let's build some more elven nurseries. Where? Just north of the arena. That seems like a good spot, I think. Get to grow up near the churches. Where we sacrifice humans, yep. And, you know, other people. Specifically just criminals. I completely annihilated that wall. Okay, we'll see if it still works. So those are nurseries, which is, you get children from there. You don't end up with children in this game unless you build nurseries. And the only people I'm building nurseries for are these people, the Talapi, or as I call them, the Tilapia. They're basically just wood elves. The taco fish. We're digging out a whole lot of bedrooms right now. Well, spaces that I'm going to put apartments in. We are building so many different random buildings all over the place. Like, I've got more flat houses being constructed. I've got toilets being constructed up here. I got all of this stuff being dug out. Plus, I've got all of these nurseries getting constructed. But yeah, no, this is a game that I recommend pretty openly to people. I think that... what's the name of that? Woodcutter, that's... This is a game that I pretty openly recommend to people. I think that this is one of the more unique city builders I've played in the past, like, couple of years. And I like games that are unique, that do things differently. And this game does that real well. Chat, do you have a game that you've played in the past couple of years that you think is maybe underrated or didn't really get enough time in the sun? Maybe just due to it being too niche or just not actually getting noticed in the first place? I'm not saying that this game is one of those, because like I think that this game is getting noticed, but I do see games like that rather frequently. I'm kind of curious if you guys have any that like pop into your mind immediately when I bring that up. I'm currently selecting zones to be protected forestry land, that we can continue to exploit the forests. Without running out of trees, and we're going to get to that point soon. By the time you get to it, it's no longer niche. Yeah, fair enough. You don't pay attention to what people like? Did you see that video that I posted on Discord, Stone, actually, that NoClip put up about the Hotline Miami games, by the way? That was actually really interesting. I never knew that they had a technical error in Hotline Miami 2 where they balanced the game at half speed. That explains so much about why that game was unplayably difficult for so many people. Forgot to watch it? Gotcha. It's pretty good. It was interesting. Learned a lot of things about Hotline Miami that I didn't know about before. Because I played Hotline Miami 1 and I wasn't good enough at the game to finish it. Actually kind of made me want to like download Hotline Miami 1 again and try it, but I also like kind of, number one, Hotline Miami's a decade old, which is crazy, but I didn't realize that Hotline Miami like kind of instructed musical aesthetics so much. Like I don't think that kind of like synth wave as a genre would have taken off as much as it had if it wasn't for Hotline Miami. All right. Leviathan Warships was super fun. Small naval-based combat game, had a really unique twist on turn-based. You got it off of a OG Humble Bundle and played it with a friend. It didn't get enough attention. It was so fun. I mean, if it was OG Humble Bundle, that was where indie games went to die, right? Looking it up. Said, I don't even see it. I know about, there's a game called The Last Leviathan, which I actually have in my library, apparently. Any news on the DF Steam release? Apparently Legends mode is coming along. But as far as release dates, nah. Trust me, if you follow anything that I do, you will know if there's a release date. Tapioc, what up? It's good to see you. It's been a minute. What's this? Ooh, pink. Azzy pre-order trailer. This is a Paradox game? What? Weird, man. Actually, I think I saw a Total Biscuit video on this. Huh. Interesting. Feels like fun. What's this game like? It's like somebody took Pharaoh and mashed it into a little bit of like the feel of base building from RimWorld, but it feels nothing like RimWorld. It's like somebody took Pharaoh, mashed it into the base building of RimWorld, crammed in a lot of Total War, and then tried to make it an epic world simulator while also like being a really big city builder. Yeah, that's fair, Tapioca. It's this really. It's like somebody took Pharaoh and made it into Factorio, but also crammed in a lot of like Total War combat elements. Because the combat's just Total War, basically. Really fun memories of just getting stoned and playing through Hotline Miami. You're much better at playing games while stoned than I am, then, clearly. But I really like this game, Tapioca. It feels unique. It's a combination. It's a good combination of things. But I hope that the wait isn't killing you too much, Omega Zeta. In regards to DF Steam stuff, the next news update is on Thursday. So, considering the last one was just like, yo, Legends mode's pretty much done. I'm really curious about what the next one's gonna be, because I've heard a lot of rumblings that there's been some very large amounts of progress, but the only thing that we've seen is Legends. So I'm not sure if that's the large progress or not. I'm kind of assuming it is. So. Can't imagine Total War on a square grid too well. You have to look at the trailers to see the combat, because the combat doesn't happen super frequently. Because I'm not actively invading people right now. Once my army is like 4 times the size and we get up to like a 5,000 population, then we can kind of start invading people. Mythical monsters, no. Like there's no like the all of the livestocks are like mythical-ish versions. Or like allegedly like extinct versions of current things. Like this game's very low fantasy. Like it's fantasy, but it's very low fantasy. Like there isn't really any magic or anything. It's like very mundane in that regard. I don't know if the dev is planning on adding big fantastical creatures. I don't think so. Strike me as that sort of thing. Chimera milk? Well, there's no chimeras, so that would be difficult. Yeah, this game's very low fantasy. Like you've got your humans, you've got your like lizard bug people things, you've got basically your dwarves, you got basically orcs, weird mythical giants that are blue, and then essentially wood elves. And they all kind of have different ways that they interact with each other, and they all have strengths and weaknesses, and you kind of need to play off of that. So, I don't know. I enjoy this game. I think it's super fun. If you want to try this game, try the demo. And I always recommend demos, but this one even more so, because it's the full game. But it's the full game from like 8 months ago. So it's basically just an older version of the early access game. So every like couple of months, they'll update it to a more recent old version of the game. So if you want to try the game, just go play the demo. Obviously, it'll be buggier and like have other issues in it, but it'll give you a really good idea of what the game. Oh hell yeah, yeah. Finishing games can be difficult. I mean, especially like modern games, because like the more we move into the age of games that we're in currently, the less they want you to finish them, because they just want you to buy DLC and keep playing it, right? They don't really want you to finish games anymore. I mean, maybe a good thing, maybe a bad thing. I don't know. Generally, I lean that that's a bad thing, but yeah. I like finishing games. I don't need to 100% them all the time, but I like. But yeah, I'm proud of you finishing Fallout New Vegas. So here's a question. What game are you going to finish next? That's actually something I really like about finishing games. Is I then get to like think, okay, what am I going to go do next? Get to like plan ahead. That's always kind of enjoyable. Right, housings are getting done. It's good. I built up a bunch more housing over here once I finished these. And these little scattered houses are kind of like my air quotes slums. So like this terrified looking individual gets to live here. They do get a tavern though. So it's good. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. I was gonna say it looked like it had no coal in the bathhouse for a second, so I was worried that the water might be cold, but nope, they do have a good enough amount of coal. How are we doing on like actually none? Okay. That's a very inefficient mine. So they're either like, okay, so I can hit like cold control and copy the thing and like build a house in whatever shape I want, right? Or I can just go into here and hit room copier, boom, and copy it. Then now I need to go in here and move it. Or I could I haven't actually done this at all, but you can like say, I'm not sure where the UI for it is. Save blueprints. Yeah, you can like save blueprints. So this is actually a blueprint for a warehouse from a previous playthrough. So yeah, you can save blueprints. You can rename blueprints. You can take them from playthrough to playthrough. So if you don't ever want to like build this temple again, you can just like save it. And then I don't know if you can like save blueprints from the workshop or anything. I haven't looked into that. But you can either like make every building a boutique thing, or you can like make it once and then just copy it. Proto-Life. Why do I feel like I've heard of that? Hold up. That up. That sounds very familiar. Right. Oh, I know why this is familiar. I know why this is familiar. I spoke to the dev for this at PAX. Well, that's familiar. Neat looking game. Neat looking game. Reminds me of the visuals of another game, which I can't remember. Yeah, there's a lot of music in this game, too. A lot of people say that the music reminds them of music from The Witcher, which I tend to agree with. These might be my air quotes slums, but doesn't mean they don't get pathways, so. Someone on YouTube said that on one of my VODs, said that they're going to pick this game up purely because of the music and atmosphere. Which, you know what? I agree. This game's got a really good vibe. So if you've been off Twitch recently, what brings you back today, Tapioc? What do we owe this rare presence of Tapioc in my chat? I'll make that look a lot nicer. I didn't play Witcher 3, and I own it. I got Witcher 3 for free with a graphics card. I got it for free with something. Some computer hardware that I bought around the time it came out. That or like maybe a friend gave me a key. I can't actually remember. But I have it on Good Old Games and I've never touched it. I have no interest in the Witcher games. Like I'm not saying that they're bad. I just no interest. Actually, I think what it was, because if I remember correctly, a friend of mine worked at a computer store at the time that it was coming out, and they had extra keys that were going to expire the day that they released it. That I think they were selling with graphics cards or laptops. It was one of the two, now that I'm thinking about it. And I want to say that he was just like, hey, do you want a free copy of The Witcher 3? And I was like, sure? And he just like sent me a code and said like, these are expiring tomorrow. So, pretty sure that's how I ended up with it. Just an impulse? Well, gotcha. Well, thanks for taking the day to tune in. January's been slow, but January's always slow. January sucks. Well, I mean, see, here's the thing, right? January sucks, but like, at least from a streamer perspective, once you get past January and you get into the month after January, it gets better again because people start getting tax returns and people suddenly have time to watch streams again. So, you know. Besides, we good this month because Navy decided to be a hero, so. When I say slow, I mean slow in like ways that are not good. I like if I say things have been chill, that means things have been slow in a good way. When I say things have been slow, that means like business is bad. Not in a like this is like good and relaxing. No, that we don't have that kind of slow here. I don't agree that slow is good. Slow is bad. Right. Well, they haven't even started working on. But they brought the stuff up. We need more furniture. I need more furniture. Well, I only have like what 2 shops that are making furniture, right? Yeah, it's just these 2 carpenters. There's going to be a lot of wood up here soon, so or more wood up here. So I think we're going to 1, 2, 3 up there. Busiest carpenters in town. They're the only carpenters. From the Costco company. Okay. Guzzling is refilled. Guzzling? People call gasoline guzzling? The groceries are bought. That's good. Kaiser is in the chair and the stream is playing. Hell yeah! Welcome back, man. We are continuing the expansion, right? Like, we did some pretty big expansions last time I played. And, population went up a bunch, so I need jobs for everybody, so that's what we're doing now. Giving everybody gerbs. Got traders coming in. Mining out all sorts of other things. Trying to make a underground, like, I'm thinking about making the other temple an underground temple, and I think I'm going to put it, like, under here or something. I think that would be cool. I need more libraries. That's another thing that we need. All right, I think I'm going to grab you, because you're a library. Make the back of here a library. Because you only get so much research per library, so. Yeah, that'll do. Throw in the scribe stations. Now I need the efficiency to be up. To add in shelving units. 5. 80, 85, 90. This is pushing it. Okay, there we go. 97. 97 will do. Percent efficiency, but get up to 100. There we go. Perfect. 100% efficiency. This one's not going to get as many carpets. Actually, no. I can fit some carpets in. For general aesthetic purposes. Oh, that'll do. Then they need a door. So that's going to be my new library, where they're going to do more research. I'll keep this bar up, my knowledge bar up. Attaching a library to this seems kind of smart. Although, we need schools, but I don't think... Yeah, I don't have schools unlocked yet. Need to research more in the libraries to unlock the concept of school. When you drive a Jeep, it's guzzling? Oh. Okay, gotcha. You're 6'7"? You're. I think you might actually give Rory a run for his money of tallness. Because what kind of name is Rory is a very tall individual. I'm actually not sure how tall Rory is. I need to. But I have stood next to him, and he looks down at me, and I'm 6'1", so. That was cool, the way you designed it. I don't know why it seems so simple, but it was cool. The way, like, you design buildings in this game is super simple, but also, like, weirdly complicated the first time you do it. Like, building stuff for the first time in this game is frustrating, but once you, like, understand all of the buttons you need to click in the order that you need to click them in the hotkeys, like, it makes a lot of sense. Like, I'm gonna cut this out and make it into housing, and it'll look super neat for a second. Or maybe another building. Maybe I'll put another library right there, actually. Because these are all libraries down here. And then these are for military. That's a tavern. That's an arena. This is where we chop up some bodies from the arena and make them into food. And then this is, you know, that library that we're building, which requires a bunch of furniture and cloth, which are coming from other places elsewhere. This will allow me to buy slaves if I want. Man, why are the orcs so expensive? Orc slaves must be in high demand, jeez. I should? I mean, I think he'll be back soon. I mean, he's in chat right now. But I'm not the tallest person in my family. My uncle, who I don't get along with so well, actually has to get custom shirts made. Because otherwise long sleeve shirts don't fit him. I simply just don't really buy long sleeve shirts for that reason. And then this is a stage where they perform for our entertainment. But yeah, I generally, when it comes to this game and like recommending this game, is if you are into and enjoy good, weird, unique city builders, this is a very easy game to recommend. If you're into more of like the colony builder or story generator games, this might not be for you. But just as a city builder, this game is fucking awesome. Oh, absolutely. You could so certain buildings need to be indoors, but they don't need walls. So the reason for that is like, well, some buildings can be partially outdoors, but some need to be enclosed. Like housing needs to be enclosed, right? So you don't need to necessarily build stuff indoors, but it will degrade very quickly if you build it outdoors. But like if you go into this tool thing, right, you can just build wall or not walls. You can just go into structures and just build a building, right? So this is just like the structure for a building, right? I could just do that. then they will construct this building, and then I can put whatever I want in it. I need to cancel this before they start building it. Smart removed, boom. So if I were to do that, they would build that very large building, and all of the little walls on the inside. They'd construct that, and then I could go in and designate parts of that building to be different shops. So I could just build like one really large building and then put like 15 different small buildings, right? So like these that I'm building are just like zones, essentially, that automatically build walls around them. But I could pre-build those walls and then zone inside of them if I wanted to. Just fill the world with concrete. You'd run out of concrete. But yeah, you could do that. He is most certainly faulted in a meeting currently and not staring at Twitch chat. Or actually, maybe not in a meeting. Actually, I think he's getting his hair cut, so he's probably not looking at chat, but he'll be back. I mean, he's been gone for about 2 hours, so he'll be back. Or like, you know, you could build, like when I'm building stuff underground, these are actually like collected rock from the ground, right? So they're not actually putting walls here, technically. I could have like built this without walls underground. If I wanted to. That is such a weird bug. Maybe you become intolerant to fast food? I would almost say that that is a good thing that you've become intolerant to fast food because it means that like your body is rebalancing. Because like we're not supposed to have that much sodium, but also that sucks, and I hope you feel better soon, Nix. Are there collectible rocks NFTs? No, but if when the dev's done developing this game, he's gonna make the code open source. Also, someone's probably made a pet rock NFT, right? Like that has to exist. Speaking of like stupid, pointless, dumb implementations of NFTs, apparently Ticketmaster has NFTs now. So when you buy concert tickets, you get a limited edition ticket stub NFT, where you can trade your ticket stubs with people, which is kind of like sort of makes sense in concept, right? But is fucking hilarious for me personally because the way I buy concert tickets is me and my friends we buy concert tickets like as a group and then just kind of pay each other back in cash usually. And what's funny about that is now like every time we use that, we're gonna have to like either completely forfeit these NFTs, which is probably what we're gonna do, or we're gonna have to like transfer them via wallets to each other so that we have the NFTs that we paid for technically alongside of these concerts. They come free, air quotes, with the concert tickets, but although the one concert that I saw that's happening in April that has that, I'm not going to because it's too expensive. And I don't believe it's actually going to happen anyway, so yeah. So yeah, maybe not thrilled with Ticketmaster about that. One more reason to dislike Ticketmaster, I guess. If I didn't need any more. We got plenty of reasons to dislike Ticketmaster. All right, so that's all getting floored up with nicer flooring. We can put lights in there and torches. Enjoy your lurkies, Nix. Remember when Spattercat did a video on this months ago? Yep. Complained about the building at first, but once he got the hang of it and praised it for being real good. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely one of those, like, 2 hours isn't enough to have a real valid impression on it game. You know what I mean? Like, some games just need more time. This is one of those. Like, I didn't like this game in the first 6 hours. But by hour 10, I'd started falling in love. It's basically just like associating your accounts with your wallet instead of associating your accounts with trust and belief that the account is you. I don't know. I don't think that it's as stupid as some people think it is, but I do think that almost every implementation I've seen is pretty stupid. How's things? Audio. Yep. No, that sound effect is definitely NFTs in a nutshell. I love how like I don't even have to bring up NFTs anymore. It just becomes an organic part of the conversation naturally. Just like somebody mocks it. Although one of the most funny mocking things of NFTs I've seen recently was Evil Trick was playing a game Sands of Selzar, which doesn't have any blockchain integration, and he tried to name his tribe and it didn't update immediately. Like it left him as unnamed tribe, and his chat's like, "Oh, it's okay. You just have to wait for the blockchain to update," which is like very funny, but also kind of sad. And speaking of blockchains updating, Twitter's NFTs integration, where you can have like your profile picture as like an NFT, and so it's like proof of your NFT ownership. Anyway, I think it's a real good like thumb pointer of like who to block on Twitter. So the second you see those little hexagonal icons on Twitter, just block them. It'll do yourself a favor. Anyway, saw like that popped up, right? Anyway, OpenSea went down for a couple of hours the other day. So on Friday, while I was on Twitter, because I was like scheduling some tweets for podcast things tomorrow, and I saw one of those icons, but it was blank. It was just an eggshell, like a Twitter eggshell, like the default Twitter logo. And the reason it was that was because OpenSea was down, and OpenSea goes down pretty frequently. OpenSea is the NFT marketplace that Twitter is using to verify these NFTs. Well, can't really verify it when the platform is down, right? So I thought that was hilarious. Oh yeah, I consider Twitch social media because they're doing all the same things other social media services do. I actually like, there was somebody in my chat once who was talking about how they don't use any social media and they refuse to use any social media. I was like, Twitch is social media, right? And they were like, huh. And they literally like unfollowed and deleted their account, which I respect the commitment. But I haven't seen that person since. So. Is that there isn't a central authority? Yeah, and then all of these central authorities are like, hey, let's use blockchain tech. That person uninstalled their internet? I don't know, man. Almost all media these days has a social component. I don't know. I'm kind of just at a point where I'm just not going to participate in games that have exploitative business models. And I've like anybody who's watched this stream for any particular amount of time, like more than, I don't know, an hour, probably knows that, right? And to me, that blockchain technology is kind of just a natural extension of that. So it's like if your game is taking part in blockchain and has a marketplace associated with a blockchain, I'm not going to play your game because that to me is potentially exploiting people. Yeah, that's on my to-do list tonight, Tapioca. That's fine. I don't mind the spoiler, Tapioca. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Do I even play any AAA games? I've been playing Halo. That's a AAA game. But I've got like 45 hours in Halo, and I've almost finished the campaign, and I've played quite a bit of the multiplayer, and I haven't spent a cent on it. I do pay for Game Pass, but that's a business expense at this point. So, I mean, I'm trying to think, what other AAA games do I play? It's like, it's Halo. Oh, I played Forza, the new Forza for like a good chunk, also because of Game Pass. Age of Empires, the new one, that's a AAA game, right? Again, on Game Pass. But I am planning on buying Age of Empires once it's $40. So as soon as they put out a sale for it that's $40 or cheaper on Steam, I'm going to buy it on Steam because I don't know how long I'm going to keep Game Pass. I like Game Pass. Game Pass is a great deal for me currently, but as soon as there's a point where it's like, all right, I haven't played a new game on Game Pass for a couple of months, I'm going to drop that subscription. It's all right now because like every month the game has come out, but if there's like a break between games that I play on Game Pass, I will stop playing it. Did I put a janitor around here? The icon for janitor. A little gear right there. Increase that. Why does the janitor require armor? What are you cleaning exactly? Need to import some anyway. But like, what? Fighting stains? I guess so, man. Like, jeez. It's like, why does the janitor need weapons? This is like in SS13 when somebody walks up to you and they're like, hey, I work in the kitchens. Can I get a rocket launcher? It's like, pardon? What exactly do you plan to use that for? Giant cobwebs include spiders. Yeah, they need to fish all of the giant rats out of the sewers, apparently. Clearly. That's obviously what they're doing. Public school bathrooms in southern U.S. is dangerous business. Can't say I have any experience with that, so. Someone plugged the toilets to fight back, and those are some really tough stains, apparently. Yeah. I mean, it's okay. To be fair, you wouldn't put it beyond SS13 kitchen to need rocket launcher for a recipe. Sure, but also there's like blood stains coming off of him as he's walking around. Maybe they just have like a xenomorph infestation or something. But still, kind of sus. That's all I'm really trying to. Is regardless, that would be kind of sus. Also, the best / worst feature of this game is there is very realistic pooping sounds for the bathroom. So whenever you're running at normal speed, you hear very loud pooping. I kind of hate that feature, but I also kind of love and respect that feature. Absolutely terrible, but like, Mad Lad actually did it. You had online voting using blockchain recently. It was a disaster. See, like, I could imagine that being a disaster, but also that's one of those uses where it's like, that's a logical use for blockchain tech in my brain. Like, my brain says that is, like, what we should be using that stuff for. Commodifying digital art? No, that's a waste of everybody's time. But, like, oh. Going to make one more carpenter. 100% and unnecessary. Yeah, I mean, like, I respect the commit you know? It's like, I don't like it, but I respect the commitment to detail. Does this have zoning? Explain zoning? Like in what, like how do you, what do you mean by zoning in this context? Because you can get very, very like specific with what goes where, if that's what you mean. When you can stand the FSB had the keys for it and allegedly that can be showed using statistical methods to change votes so pro-Putin gang could win. I mean, of course Putin would win. You guys don't have elections. You guys have, air quotes, elections, all capital. Different zones for industrial, commercial, residential. Like there isn't like a click drag, this is industrial zone, but like if I zoom out a little bit, there's different types of buildings, right? So like these, let's turn off resource scanners and just leave on building types. So like these are all like sleeping buildings, right? These are all tailors, which are work buildings. So like the different colors kind of represents the different zoning, but there isn't like, I'm gonna click the zone button and make a commercial zone out of SimCity. It's more of a, these are housing constructions, these are working constructions, these are religious constructions, these are mining constructions, these are farming constructions. These are, the dark reds are combat. So kind of, but not like the way SimCity does it. Like you don't just click drag residential. Like these are all residential buildings, so you could call this a residential zone. These are research or knowledge buildings, so I guess you could call that like knowledge zoning. This is kind of an entertainment zone. This whole area is kind of an entertainment area, actually. More residential. These are death things. This is all residential as well. So yes, but no. And I need to let in 20 new or 7 new humans, 10 new dwarves, a bunch of orcs, a bunch of elves, and we can also let in the people. It's nothing like DF. It's nothing like DF. This is very much a city builder. Like, it scratches the same DF itch because it has some world simulation stuff going on, but that's like saying that, you know, it's like trying to compare Banished to Dwarf Fortress, or trying to compare Pharaoh to Dwarf Fortress. It's like, sure, I mean, Dwarf Fortress has its roots in some city builders, but like, it's very different in execution. It's like a weird comparison, in my opinion. A very weird comparison. And also, thank you, Sideways. Beer for lunch, because why not? Fuck yeah, man. I actually have beer in my fridge, because I was hanging out on a Discord call with a friend last night and was tired and bored and kind of mad that concerts are getting canceled because of human stupidity, so, you know, bought me beer. I got me a 4-pack, and then of which 3 are left, as well as the fancy beer, because why not? What else is for lunch aside from the beer? I'm assuming you're not just drinking a beer for lunch. I mean, if you are, I respect it, but call it liquid bread for a reason. With quarters? Now, is that because the bank account was locked, or because you just really needed to get rid of quarters? I don't think nowhere's really taking cash here. That's like actually one thing the pandemic's done that I've been kind of happy with, is like suddenly everybody's like, yeah, cash, fuck it. The only people who really take cash now are like dispensaries. Because if you're in negative balance, oh boy, that's rough. I definitely have enough change that I probably could buy 2 tall cans of beer if I want. I could get like 2 tall cans of Red Racer because I'm pretty sure. I think tall cans of Red Racer are like $1.50 here. You went to a dispensary that took debit card last month? I mean, they take debit card, but a lot of dispensaries around here are still, how do I put it? Legal. And I'm doing air quotes, but you can't see me doing that. So you get big discounts if you pay cash. At least the one that I go to. So, yeah, if you pay cash, they have really good deals because they're definitely legal, and you're buying weed that absolutely did not fall off of a truck. So, I mean, it's pretty light. It's just a plant, right? So it can get blown away. It's great. Just put a big fan next to the truck, and then suddenly discounts happen. Who works there is funny. He peeked under. And he asked, he was like, how old are you? And you're like, me, 21. No, wait, 25. Fuck. And he gives me, right, gives him my ID, 27. I every now and again, like, okay, so there's this Chinese lady who works at the government liquor store close to me. And like, I don't go there super often these days, but I used to go there quite often. So like, she kind of recognizes me. She goes, oh, it's you again. And she always looks at me and she goes, how old are you? Looks at the ID and she goes, oh, I thought you were older. That's like, fuck you, lady. I'm 27. Come on, like, give me a break. It's funny, like, if I wear a toque, I always get ID'd. So if I'm wearing a hat, I always get ID'd. If I don't wear a hat, I don't get ID'd because they can see my gray hair. It's like, I have enough gray hair that I just don't get ID'd, is assuming I don't wear, like, if I'm not wearing a hat, I never get ID'd in bars, and I never get ID'd in the liquor store, and I never get ID'd in the dispensary. But if I wear a hat, I get ID'd, because you can't see my gray hair, because I have this big fucking patch of gray hair right there. I've always found that kind of hilarious. Not gonna lie. Alright, we need a lot of furniture. Furniture is our main bottleneck right now. It doesn't help that I'm also, like, selling furniture. At least I think I am. Yeah, I totally am. I'm selling a lot of the furniture that I make. It sells for quite a bit, though. Although, you know what? Fuck selling furniture. Let's sell livestock, because livestock sells for a shit ton now. 360? What the fuck? I should be selling all of the livestock. The problem is, nobody's buying it, actually. But they are buying coal. So you know what? Let's shift over to that. You need to actually have buyers. I mean, the secret to underage drinking is to have gray hair. No, it's to live in Canada and have gray hair, because our legal drinking age in Canada is 19. You don't see a lot of 19-year-olds with gray hair. You'd be surprised about 21-year-olds, though. It's actually a lot easier to get away with underage drinking in Canada, I would imagine. Like in a world where, like, 20-year-olds from the States will come up to Canada to drink. It's 18 where you're at? Yeah. It should, in my opinion, the drinking age for like anything below like 5% alcohol, or anything that's 5 and below, like most like lighter beers, should be 16, and then the hard liquor age should be 18. Because the reason you have drinking problems is because kids glorify it, right? And kids will do the thing that their parents don't want them to do as a format of rebellion. So just like let them have that thing so that they don't do it. But that's just my take. Some people don't agree. Lots of people don't agree, I should say. Alright, so this is gonna become housing now. Well, maybe not housing, actually. Yeah, let's make this into another library, because we can just make this into like a research district. Put shelves at the end here. Need some stuff, because I definitely will need more shelves than that. Oh shit, if I rotate these? Okay, I can like line them all the way up perfectly. Um... 100%, and then boop. Boop, this will be a boutique, like one-off, so. Carpets all the way along. Done. In my state, you can drink at any age so long as you have parental permission. I mean, that's the way it is in Canada too, but like that doesn't really matter when kids are trying to rebel, yeah? It's like if kid wants to be bad kid, it doesn't really matter. Like my parents used to give me beer at like 15. Really matter though. Didn't know some states in the US had that. Some states in the US think like have logical drinking laws, but then there's the rest of the US. I feel like you'd have mass infant death. But you know, you can have whatever stance you want in life. Doesn't mean it's logical. There's a lot of people out there thinking that we should lower taxes. It doesn't mean it's logical. There's some people out there that think that socialized healthcare is the devil. And then people die because they don't get... Someone just knock on my door? Did someone bump into my door? I don't know. So look outside. Can confirmed, nobody knocked on my door. Please don't make that joke. I'm going to blop it because I don't think it's cool for people to make that joke. US is sliding into puritanical theocracy at an alarming rate. It kind of is happening at an alarming rate. Yeah, Pilot. Socialized healthcare also has saved my life. And my career, for that matter. Frogfire. I'm pretty sure the cleaning guy walked past my door and bumped into it. Happens sometimes. He's out there vacuuming. Checks out. More fun when healthcare works like a casino and you never know how much you need to pay. Oh my god. I mean, casinos, you know exactly how much you need to pay, right? Because you're the one who takes out cash to put it into the casino in the first place. That's where you live. Damn it! Hey, man, some people like fucking their country. People are into that, you know? Like, we're not here to shame anybody. That is a good one. I live here. This is terrifying. I don't know. I do honestly think that like we are on the road. We're on the road to change right now, just like as humans on Earth. Kind of like we're heading towards a similar shift that we had post World War II. Except it's a shift in the opposite direction. And it'll either end horrendously terrible and we'll all be worse off by the end of it, or it'll be okay and by the end of it, we'll be better off. Change is never something that happens smoothly, and is never something that happens, what's the word? You know, previously, the way change would happen is whole cities would get slaughtered. I think we're beyond that. But I'm going to say that tentatively. With tentative hopefulness. They just need more wood now to hack down more trees. Furniture is our bottleneck currently, so let's clear cut. Parallels between COVID and the Spanish flu in terms of how things are going is astounding. Right down to the labor shortage. Yeah, the labor shortage was for different reasons in the past time, though. That's the thing. Like, the similarities are astounding, but it's also, like, for kind of wildly different reasons. The actual, like, hilarity, though, is, like, the people that, is the like, parallel of people who lived through that era of, like, Spanish flu and all that. That are now, like, against making changes that they wanted back then. Like, it's funny how age and, like, wealth changes people. End to what exactly? Rock for hire? You know, I can't see WW and read worldwide anymore. To me, it just like WW3 just means WWE. I can't read that without like thinking about wrestling for some reason. Like you're saying World War III, I'm thinking wrestling. I don't know why that is, but it's just how my brain works, I guess. Mr. Worldwide? Dale! Exactly! You're yeah, well. Has anybody here seen the video that Racevec put out recently called Metro Exodus 3 years later, I think? Because very good video about like the state of Ukraine, also about video games. If anybody likes watching videos about video games that are also like about world events, pretty fucking great vid. Also good Canadian YouTuber who apparently lives in Vancouver now. So I don't know where you are, Racevec, but big fan. Big fucking fan, dude. One of those like, I don't know where you're at, but like if you want to hang out, fucking call me. You're cooler than me. Is squatting in a big empty house? What, Racevec? Does it matter what type of virus is? Virus is virus. Like, we can pull out teeth about, like, what type of virus it is, but... if it's virus that kills you, it doesn't fucking matter. If it's virus that causes, like, permanent damage to you, doesn't fucking matter what type of virus it is. Could be the fucking Borg for all I care. All ends in the same place. Play some SnowRunner. Too much talk of serious topic. Enjoy the running in the snow. Because it's possible. Just like there's a lot of fiction of nuclear war. Exxon. Authors read about a thing that is plausible or possible or even maybe likely, and then they're like, huh, this is a good, like, basis for my fiction. Then they write book. Then books sell well. Time to flip a truck or 10. I preferred Mud Runner. Better game. But you have fun. I mean, this is Soviet Russia era, so wars... Or actually, I don't know what time period SnowRunner takes place in. SnowRunner might be modern day, actually. A climate change sci-fi horror legitimately one of the most chilling and existential dread-inducing stories you've read. Huh. They should make a TV show about it. I'd watch that Netflix original. Has anybody here seen The Silent Sea? Or am I the only person who's watched it? Because there's some good, like, existential dread climate change shit in that show. You've seen the first 4 episodes? I finished it. I recommend finishing it. It's pretty good. It gets a little off the rails, but in kind of a good way. Not sure, but somehow we managed to break these toilets. Fine. Not sure how I managed this, but we like completely screwed this up. Oh, fuck it. A funky shape, that's fine. Huh? Oh, I understand what I'm doing wrong. We accidentally have an open floor plan for this toilet, which is not optimal. I'm not sure how I deleted a portion of that wall, but I did. Janet didn't have proper weapons, toilets broke. That's one of my favorite requirements in this game now. Name the show again, please. The Silent Sea. It's a Korean sci-fi drama. Or it's sci-fi... I don't know what I call it. It's not quite a horror show, but it's got like sci-fi horror elements to it. Like it's shot like a sci-fi horror show, but it isn't scary. At least I didn't think it's scary. Yeah, it's Korean sci-fi. Silent Sea. It does have a dub, but I watched it in sub and just paused whenever I missed subtitles, which sucks, but it wasn't that long, so I was willing to watch it. Going to be a lot of woodworking over there. Hey, Haz, what's up? How's things, Haz? You like Korean films? They do good. They do good. I just, the reason I watched The Silent Sea is because I watched, The Expanse, and The Expanse finished, and I really, really enjoyed The Expanse. And the second that The Expanse finished, I was like, I need another science fiction show now. Called Let's Eat. I haven't seen it. What's the premise? Pitch me on it. We're literally just bottlenecked by furniture. All it is. Yeah, I don't know what it is with Korean, like, television, but people always often expect shows like that to not be good for some reason. And I think it's because they haven't been good for a really long time, but they've finally, like, gotten to the point where they've caught up with Hollywood for production values. That kind of happened in the last 15 years or so. I don't think Orville is watchable anywhere in Canada, at least not that I have access to. It might be, but I love that the only two people streaming this game right now are disabled. What's going on with that? At least for me, I have visual disabilities, so I don't see very well. So games that I can play like this, where I can pause and slow down and just like read things individually, or like slow down and just like let it run and like not have to see directly what's going on, are much more playable for me. Whereas games like, I'm gonna throw out an example here. I don't know, Binding of Isaac. I kind of can't play. Also, I completely screwed up the placement of this, so I'm curious to see if it's gonna end up working. Because I managed to like completely annihilate the back wall on like these two buildings, and I think I killed the door on this one. Well, actually, no, there's a door on this side. Looks like they're just like building it together into one big one, so that's kind of cool. Noida? Yeah, that's a game that I can't play. So, I don't know. So I just need to bring roots over. Lower down the amount of that in there. Turnip fruits and fetch. It's close by. It almost has to be more fun than it looks, right? Noida's great fun. I just can't play it, which kind of sucks. It's like I'd like to be able to play Noida, but I only can make it to roughly the second level before there's too many tiny projectiles that I just can't see. But I'll say this. I think that there's, at least in my instance, part of the reason I dedicated so much time to streaming full-time and made it into a thing that worked for me is a lot of jobs that don't require experience won't hire me because of my disabilities. So I think you kind of see a lot of that in streaming. And now that, for better or for worse, Twitch has tags for it, we get to advertise ourselves as disabled people. Being disabled is now marketable. For better or for worse. Yeah, I'm playing the most recent update. Also, is the ROR in your name because of Risk of Rain? Out of curiosity? Or is that something else? We need more furniture. We're still bottlenecked on furniture. I think I got too used to the structure of their dramas. They seem too similar to you now. What, K-dramas? I don't generally like K-dramas, but that sci-fi show just felt like a sci-fi show, so. They're just dramas. Sometimes dramas are like rot and repetitive. Don't necessarily need to be Korean to be rot and repetitive. Ruby on Rails? Ah, once again, the reasoning why I don't like acronym. Can we, like, quit joking about making shit into NFTs because nobody wants it? Fuck off. Funny for a minute, and then we all realize, oh. You know what you should also do, chat? You should take every pair of shoes that you can't wear anymore and you should bronze them and hang them on your wall, because you might want to like sell them as a collector's item because you're only going to wear that pair of shoes once. You know people do that to baby shoes? Like they take baby shoes and they like dunk them in bronze or other precious metals, and then they put them on like statues and be like, so-and-so's pair of shoes, 1993. I know somebody who has like a bronze pair of his baby shoes. Or used to know somebody. You're not supposed to do that? I mean, here's the thing, right? I think that shit's like massively wasteful and like incredibly fucking stupid. The exact same way I feel about NFTs. I don't think I'm gonna need that much furniture. Yeah, we're gonna end up underworking these. About it. No, because if I want to keep playing the same save, I just revert back to an old version because Steam has beta versions. The last time it broke my save for this particular update, I just went back. Oh, really? Vampire Survivors has NFTs? Well, note to self, don't play that game. I was like about to buy that game earlier today. Then why are you saying it added NFTs? Do you want me to not buy a game or not? Confused. What's going on here? 4 out of 7? We need to have at least 5 out of 7. Oh, there we go. Don't have enough workers anymore. That's actually what we want. More odd jobbers. I mean, worst case scenario, if we don't have enough, turn down the number of people working at the mine. Also, rereading that, I understand what you're saying sideways. Reading the rest of the sentence. You read the first half. Yeah, no, I get you. Pickup item. There's a reference to NFTs and a joke about investing in companies for $69 billion in paparazzi, which I thought was pretty funny. The mini-map view? This view is very satisfying? Or you mean just this? Also, I need to work on these. I wonder. Okay. Do you need to put walls in regardless? Might as well leave that setting on. All right, there we go. Now we can drop apartments in. Crap. Besides that, but... Really thought that would fit there, but guess not. Let's just do single-size knickknacks. Just like places to put their stuff, spots for them to like eat, gather, and all that jazz. A big table. Go. I just like terrible placement. It's here instead. Put in a nice carpet right there. Still haven't really started catching up on furniture yet, so that's going to take forever to build, but... It really is, yeah. Although I do think that, like, the way he referred to it on the interview is very funny. He's just like, I would like to provoke and, like, have it, like, cause a response. He's like, but, like, nobody's really noticed, so... Find that very funny. What do you mean stuff make funny sound in melting furnace? Oh, you mean like bronzing shoes? Right, yeah, you work in, you work in blacksmithing. I don't know, I mean like, there's useful things like you can do as a blacksmith, right, Hazaza? You know? There's useful things you can do. Then there's taking somebody's shoes and covering them in a metal. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't help anybody. It gives somebody like a fancy-ish keepsake and wastes a lot of time and energy when someone else could use those shoes potentially. It adds plus 10 armor though? I mean, have you ever tried wearing bronzed shoes? Because if so, I want to see you bronze all of your clothing and wear it while doing like blacksmithing. If you can wear a full set of bronze t-shirt or muscle shirt, up to you, socks, shoes, boots, and pants. If you can do that, or at least shorts, or maybe a kilt even. Actually, I'll give you a kilt so that like you don't need to worry about like legs bending and shit. If you can do that, I will be very impressed. Although it might make a good like stream gimmick though if you were to like stream blacksmithing. Because the shoemakers will starve because metal shoes last too long. You know, I think if metal shoes actually worked, we wouldn't have phased them out, like, a very long time ago. There we go. Our furniture supply is actually, like, ticking up. It's good. If you could afford that amount of bronze, you would try? Dumb question. How much would that amount of bronze cost you? Just asking for science. I'm not saying I'm actually going to help fund this, because I wouldn't. But for science, how much would that level of delinquency cost you? A full set even? Really? That's kind of awesome. leather bags of shoes not long ago? I mean, probably. I don't know. I mean, those are called leather shoes, right? I feel like there was like more to them than just leather bags. Copper and tin can't be that expensive. Yeah, I mean, just like buy a bunch of cans of Campbell's soup, right? And then what has copper in it? Just go pull some piping out of like a construction site. You'll be fine. Or wiring, rather. You know, just like strip wire some houses and like buy a bunch of cans of tin. Get a bunch of sardines. It's because we started paving stuff? True. Yeah, I'll be honest, I've never looked into buying metal in bulk. Bulk used to wear chainmail, but they used to wear a heavy shirt under it and then attach the breastplate to various bits. Yes. Yeah, no, they had like, they had to build hinges into the armor, because otherwise it's vastly impractical. It's extraordinarily impractical if you don't have hinges. So we are now maxing out our workforce again. It's not exactly. I do need to bring in things to have odd jobbers again. I'm going to check the other temple, which is this one. This is the all of the precious metals god. So I'm going to import the precious metals that I obviously don't have. Also, proper bricks, which I am building now. Also, I don't know. Bronzing shoes was just my the easiest thing I could come up with that we've been doing as people for a very long time that is almost as silly as NFTs. It's just like the closest thing I could come up with. I'm like, what is something that's like as useless as NFTs? Bronzing shoes. There we go. Although at the very least, the word out of GDC is that game developers don't like NFTs, which is kind of nice. I think they are an inelegant, useless solution, which continues to like compound in my brain that they're just snake oil. You'd say that bronzing shoes is way more useful than an NFT? Sure. It depends on like your stance on reusing clothing, but as like a keepsake, yeah, it's more useful as a keepsake. But if you have a better example of something that's useless that we've been doing for ages, please enlighten me. Okay, we'll just do it this way. Need pillars. Thanks for the 3 pennies, Baron. Cheers, man. There are no keepsakes? My Lego collection is absolutely a keepsake. I don't know what you're talking about. Got to make sure that you get your dad's hard drive copied to one of yours. Yeah, no, I actually agree with that. Something I've been thinking about doing, because like I've kind of become like me and my parents share a Netflix password, right? Me and my sister share a Netflix password. Is I've kind of come to terms with the fact that I'm kind of not the historian of the family, that's the wrong word, but like I'm in charge of like family digital goods. I'm kind of thinking about like just making a Plex server. Like not even just like for family shit, but like for not even for just like pirated movies and shit, which is what most Plex servers end up being, but like something that I can like put photos on and stuff. Like I don't know. I've been thinking about getting into that recently, because it's just like, well, I mean, if I made a Plex server, I could just give my parents the password, and then they would just have access to it. I could just like stick photos up there and stuff. You want to do a Plex server? Yeah. Let's just run a pathway down to here where the door is going to be. Kind of wish that pathways were easier to build. Then door and door. All right, so we need to import silicon ore and jewelry. Let's see what I can do up here. Hold up. I really wish I knew how this UI worked. Is there anything else I can tax in here? Google is discontinuing their picture service as well. Oh, really? Huh. I didn't actually know that. Good to know. Kind of scary, but good to know. It's going to be for wood, furniture, and maybe fancier words, too. Flavors. Oh, thank you. But it removed all of the organizing functions? Good to know. But like part of the reason I want to like do the Plex server thing, excuse me, but part of the reason I want to do the Plex server thing is because my dad is really good at organizing photos and I'm really bad at it. And so if I give my dad access to it, he could organize all that shit. You've heard literally nothing but good things about Plex? I mean, it's just a server front end. Like it's not, there's nothing like crazy about it. It's just a service that runs that stuff for you in a really nice visual fashion. Often considered Plex, yeah. For me right now, it's just a matter of like, I don't really have the funds to build a server. If I had the funds to build a server, I'd love to, but I don't. Mostly because I don't want to pay hard drive prices right now. This looks amazing. It's a great game, Obscure Indie. It's good. I like this game. Although I don't know if it necessarily counts as obscure. Or at least, I don't know if I'd consider it obscure, but... Hey, my coffee filter's shipped. Yay. I bought coffee filters just over a year ago in a bulk pack of 4 of them, which I am down to the last half of the last bag, so I batch. Let's see, did those nurseries ever end up and running? Yeah, they are. There they are. Cool. Would you look at this? It's interesting that like I accidentally mashed those buildings together and they just work. I use a Hario V60s, so I have to use Hario filters. So I buy them direct from them. They just sent me an email saying that they shipped out the pack of 6 bags of filters. Each bag has 150 filters in them, so yeah, they do last a good while. Was a dumpster find? Fuck yeah. that's pretty good. Any updates on the playdate? Hasn't shipped yet. Supposedly shipping in early 22, whatever early 22 means. I do know that their dev tools have been released though, and Kenny, aka Asset Jesus, has been making tile sets for roguelikes for it, so that's kind of rad. Means Q1. Surprise, we're in Q1. So, it is early 22 right now. Sorry, I just saw the thing that you posted, Violet. All I have to say about that, oh, end of Q1? Oh yeah, no, I mean they'll probably ship early spring, I think, which means I'll probably we'll see them in July if I had to guess. Please don't shout out your stream in my channel. You do not have permission to do that. I don't know you, so do yourself a favor, Obscure, and don't walk into random channels and be like, "Hey, I'm also streaming." That's like streamer 101 of things to not do. I'd vote for, so would I. Just, no, it's more of a, for future reference, dude. Just, it's like walking into, a McDonald's holding a bag of Wendy's and being like, man, McDonald's isn't very good. I really like Wendy's, though. It's just not cool. Don't do that. It's like the oldest rule in the book of Twitch etiquette. That voice made me laugh. I say that because I saw somebody legit do that when I worked at McDick's. There was a day where like a guy walked in, we're all sitting there just kind of going, what the fuck? Very strange. I wonder when you can get your Steam Deck. To me, it's kind of like a race. It's like what's going to arrive first, the Steam Deck or what's going to arrive first, people's Steam Decks or people's Playdates. I actually don't know what the shipping date on Steam Decks is right now, but I mean, I've never had food from Burger King that I didn't hate, so. Granted, it's been a long time since I've been to a Burger King. We need more odd jobbers, so time to turn down play count at the coal mine. Research is climbing. We also desperately need more research, so let's max you two out. And then just put people back onto the mine as we need them. I've never had food that I would consider tasty from Burger King. Like, there's fast food places that I've been to where it's like, yeah, this is pretty okay. Like, but there's, like, if I have to get a fast food burger in the greater Vancouver area, I'm not going to go to any of the chains that most of you have heard of. I'm going to go to Triple O's. Triple O's, like, you'll spend an extra $2 on your burger, but, like, it's a burger. And it, like, looks like and tastes like they actually like made it relatively fresh. It doesn't taste frozen. It's like that. It's like a slightly better burger place. It's more along the lines of like just a traditional burger place than fast food chains, but it is a local fast food chain. I've to this day I've never been in a Taco Bell in my life. I've walked past Taco Bell, but I've never eaten Taco Bell. And you know what? I don't think I ever will, because I do like good tacos. But Taco Bell don't seem like my thing. But TA.co is definitely the best vanity URL I've ever seen that a company owns. Does this game have any ranged weapons? Currently, there is one weapon, and that is give sword to guy, and they run at each other, and they smash their face into one another. The combat is getting a big overhaul at some point soonish. The combat is very basic in this game as it sits currently. Yeah, it's big burly man and other big burly man bump into each other until one of them explodes into red, like, strawberry jam. Not that strawberry jam is particularly red, but Taco Bell's everywhere, Oswix. Like, literally everywhere. God, I need to rewatch Demolition Man. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. And I've been on very much like that era of film kick recently. Still working on this. I guess they can actually get her done now. That. Can I not set one of those as imports? We need to import jewelry. We have armor right now. Where's the other thing? We're still selling lots of coal, so that's good. Like that's the thing, is it's selling. Like we also have like a lot of livestock for sale, but it's not selling, so it doesn't fucking matter. We're just gonna sell more coal. Livestock sells for a lot more, but nobody's buying it. Problem. If I want Mexican food, I mean, if I want like fast food, like Mexican style food, I will go to Chronic Tacos, which is like, it's just a taco place, but it's just a chain taco place, but it's an okay chain taco place. So it's like if I'm gonna get chain Mexican food, I'm gonna go to Chronic Tacos. If I want like decent Mexican food, I will go to this place called Guacamole, which is a locally owned family joint that's close. That's like across the street from me. So it's like, if I want Mexican food, I'm not gonna. If I want Mexican-esque food, there's better chains that I can go to, and if I want Mexican food, there's like good Mexican food I can go get here. So it's a Dutch chain. Got you. I've never heard of Salsa Shop. That would make sense if it's a Dutch chain. Humans want to move in, some dwarves, some orcs. Curious about how much building another large temple will bring in. I'm also going to bring in some more housing. And that. Are you sure you want the spicy one? Yeah, when I go back, I mean, I haven't been there since before the pandemic. I've ordered their takeout once or twice, and it was disappointing. But the local Mexican place here, if you go in and sit down, you don't get this when you order takeout, but when you go there, they just give you free chips and salsa, right? And there's two salsas. They have the mild salsa and the hot salsa. But they also have the secret salsa, but you have to ask specifically for it. Because the first time I went there, I used the spicy salsa. It wasn't that spicy. It was like kind of spicy. And I was like, this is a little spicy, but like, do you have a spicier salsa? And they're like, oh, we have the special salsa, but you have to ask for it because it's too hot for most people. So I was like, yeah, I want the special salsa. And it was hot, but it was good. Oh my god. Like I would, they don't sell their salsa and they make it all in-house. And I would just go buy a bottle of their salsa if they sold it. They were like, hey, you know, we have people ask every now and again, but like we just kind of want people to come in for the salsa. I'm like, that's the good stuff. Tell the chef there's a gringo out here that wants you to hurt him. Pretty much. Although I don't think they'd say that because they're like more Canadian than I am probably. So like they are very much from like Mexican heritage, but like that whole family, like they strike me as more Canadian than most Canadian. That restaurant's been there for a while, so. Sounds like your kind of salsa? Oh yeah, I mean there's two kinds of salsa that I like. The salsa with the sexy dancers and the salsa that makes me want to catch on fire. Or feel like I'm about to catch on fire. The good salsas. Speaking of the good salsas, how's Orange doing? How they going? Way up here to get wood, I think? Yeah. As spicy as you would think is spicy, and it was so spicy that you could only eat 2 bites without a water break. 10 out of 10, big tip. Hell yeah. I don't like pad thai that spicy actually. I do like like a sweet spice on my pad thai, but pad thai I like to be more of a sweet meal than a spicy meal, but that's just me. You want to go to the Thai place? I want to get... you guys are making me really want, like, some good takeout, but I haven't had takeout this year. Just because money. Because, like, I have to pay taxes soon. And, like, taxes are going to hurt this year. I didn't have anywhere near as many expenses as 2020. And even, like, every year, the pandemic's caused me to have less expenses every year. Because, like, I don't do anything. Like, all the streamers I know last year were, like, buying software and, like, ordering art from their artists and shit at the end of last year because it was just like, oh, God, the year's over, and, like, I have had no business expenses this year. Is it just a chicken? There's a barbecue place here like that, Oswix. There's a barbecue place here where you can just get a pork head. You just want to eat a pig face. Like, I guess that's a meal you could order. Oh, does it make you run around like a chicken without a head? Is that why it's called that? Stuff your face with pig face, yeah, pretty much. Oh, okay, I get it. I get the I understand why it's called that now. It all checks out. Like, haven't built a single canteen yet. Probably make a canteen at some point. Maybe after we get all this housing done. Or we could, like, get rid of these two and make this into a canteen. Like, I've got eateries, plenty of eateries, but haven't made a single canteen yet in this whole city. Just, okay, so we do have some of that ore imported. Or we had some of that ore imported. Well, that's inbound. This stuff is inbound. I guess maybe there just isn't any jewelry around. But the dealership called and said upon pre-delivery inspection, they found one of the tires was defective. And well, I mean, that's good. Wouldn't want a tired truck sent over. Sounds like that truck skipped leg day, so. I guess, like, so what you're saying is you can't go to work right now, Orange, because you're still stuck in the character creator? Bastet used to be rich. Chat, can I get a round of beers for that? But oh, hopefully you'll get your new truck soon. It can't take them that long to like replace one tire, right? You ever finish making that housing? Yeah, they did. Build that diamond mine and get up to mining percentage. Now I get to go find where that tiny ass diamond mine was. I know it was under somebody's house. So apologies to person, but somebody's going to get their house uprooted. There it is. By that I mean 2 people are going to get their houses uprooted. Remove. Womp. Oh, no, not you. Just this. And also this. And also to do that, we gotta mine into there. Huh. I wonder if building on top of something demolishes it. Seems like it. Note to self, don't build on top of mines. Yeah, it looks like it does. Wow. Okay. Yeah, there's no Z levels in this game. I have a question. Why does everybody think that this game would have Z levels? It's really not the type of game that would lend itself to that at all. Everybody seems to think that it is. I don't fully get that. Very much not that kind of game. Imagine how poorly it would run with Z levels. Said it would be done sometime tomorrow when they can get their shipment of tires. Oh, that makes sense, yeah. So, do you go to work then, again? What do you mean, what do you mean Google Maps doesn't have easy pictures? Confused. Oh, interesting. So the gem deposits are still there, but they lose the icons if you build on top of them. Huh. It's a odd quirk. I mean, if you have a link to a thing, you can link it. Oh, press like print screen, upload to Imgur or something. I think that there's like a share link on Google Maps, isn't there, which is like shortens it? Want to say that exists? But a child is starving to death. Well, that's suboptimal. Alright, so you over here are gonna be wood. Wood furniture. Some jewelry. Some armor in here too. Some clothing in here too. Battery in here too, because I'm gonna need that. Fancy ore too. Fruit. Rest empty until I need more. Actually, let's go. Hey, we actually have some jewelry. So we did actually get a shipment of jewelry. So this will get built. It's just gonna take. Also cost me a buttload of money. Sure. Why not? Last week. Yeah, that looks like Thai food. I'm not super fond of like a la carte food. Like the Thai place that's close to me here, is more of a restaurant. Like it's a bit fancier, but I feel better about it. So, for whatever that's worth. Lucky that they extended the beach there when they didn't need to.
This is madness! Madness. This is stoned hobo.
Well, I mean, I prefer more the restaurant style of things for Thai food, unless the Subway style of like, I wanted some of the spoonful of that and a spoonful of that and a spoonful of that. That's more like a buffet style, which I'm super fond of. But how's things, Hobo? What's up, man? Happy Saturday. We're building a giant temple, and all you can hear is the sound of people pooping. This checks out. Like stools as in like chairs? Hobo? Like for like in restaurant chairs? I would assume. Do not need a lot of auxiliaries in here. Tiny little mine, nice and easy. Will get me some gems. Very few, but we'll exploit it. for dinner in the house. Yeah. Sounds like a productive Saturday. Found a recipe for making mayonnaise using bacon fat, and there's people out there that either don't like themselves or don't like wasting things. I don't like mayonnaise. And like that just sounds like I don't know. Unpleasant. Is like my feeling on that. Gonna make very little we have gems, but we'll mine out what we can. Well, at least I can stop importing that ore now. Swap back over to furniture, because we've actually got a good amount of furniture again. Need people to be buying it in order for it to be worth exporting. You'd rather make it at home, but you do not. Ketchup has too much sugar in it, and you mean corn syrup is / poison? I mean, you can make good ketchup. Stuff exists. I mean, like, my rant about ketchup that people like to joke about is kind of ironic to a degree. Like, it's a hatred that's that big. It's kind of like my hatred of cheap mustard. It's like, I just don't like cheap mustard. Like, good mustard's good, though. Problem is nobody has it. I need 2,000 research for that shit? I don't like plain mayo. I do like a good, well-made chipotle mayo, though. Like, I like a good spicy mayo. Specifically with yam fries. Good yam fries with a good chipotle mayo is pretty good. It's useful in a truck. Care to elaborate why it's useful as a truck? Is it like motor oil? Smother it on the bumper and pedestrians keep their distance. I would actually love to see a photograph of that. Like, you say a lot of things, Orange, and sometimes I'm not buying what you're selling. This is one of those instances. I don't believe that you've ever actually done that. But if you have, please post photo evidence so that we can examine it. Like, I call absolute bullshit that you've really done that. But if you have, I would like to examine the evidences. If not, but you considered it, please do. And then we can make you Reddit famous. Just take a picture of it and be like, I finally found a valid reason for ketchup. Valid reason for the existence of ketchup. White car, red ketchup. Ketchup all the way up the front. Just douse your car in fake blood. On the topic of fake blood, I used to be in first aid cadets years ago, St. John Ambulance. And we would do first aid scenarios. And these scenarios would include like pretty proficient makeup. Like sometimes we would hire like legit makeup artists from the local film industry to like put gory makeup all over. Oh, we have a murder case. Excellent. More sacrifices or battles for the arena. Anyway, also our crime rate's gone down. Really? Why did it suddenly go to 4%? What the fuck? Anyway, it's fine. We only have 2 prisoners, and we also have a place to sacrifice them, so it's fine. We always need some prisoners so we can sacrifice them to keep the gods happy. Anyway, so we would get first aid makeup done, right? And there was this great day where me and one of the leaders of our crew and a few of the other like older kids, we were hanging out after hours because we were making blood. Now the way you make blood is cornstarch, thickener, water, and red dye, right? So we were like portioning out cornstarch, portioning out red dye, and we were putting it into buckets. Then we took those buckets and we put them in the back of our leader's truck. And as a thank you for helping her make all of the blood that we needed, she took us all to White Spot, which is like a local diner chain. We go to White Spot. We're hanging out in the White Spot. We're talking. And then suddenly we see like sirens. And the girl who drove us out there was just like, oh man, I can't remember her name. I want to say it was Adrian, but she was just like, oh man, they're by my truck. Shit. Because we'd realized what was going on, one of the containers full of blood tipped over in the back of her truck because we were putting them in ice cream pails, right? We had about 18 ice cream pails full of blood. One of them tipped over and was leaking. So there was blood dripping out of the back of her truck. And she had a covering over it, right? So she has this covering over the truck. And so, like, there's just police officers just, like, looking at the back of this truck. There's just, like, this very realistic-looking blood just, like, trailing out of the back of the truck and pooling underneath the truck. So, like, we go out there, we're like, hey, this is our truck. Hold on a second. It's makeup. It's edible. Like... opens up the back of the thing. So like, this is slightly suspect, and we're just like, trust me, it's cornstarch and food coloring. It's edible. See, like you can put it in your mouth. They thought it was pretty funny, and they left us alone. But it was very amusing. Blood to prove it's edible. I mean, it also smells like sugar. Like it doesn't like blood smells irony. This didn't have like blood scent to it at all. It was very much like obvious once you opened the container that it was cornstarch, but it was really one of my funniest brushes with the Royal Canadian Mounted Police of my life. But like, for whatever it's worth, at the time, we were kind of well known in the community, the St. John Ambulance crew, just because like we would volunteer pretty frequently at like the local fair and shit. So like they all knew. Or the second we were like, oh, we're from St. John, they were like, oh. That would have made a better movie than Twilight. I mean, that's not a high bar. Not really. It's really, like, you can eat raw blood, Axon, but it's not very good for you. Whereas, like, cornstarch, water, and edible food coloring is, like, tastes like and smells like candy. Blood smells like blood, which isn't exactly appetizing unless you're a vampire, I suppose. Although I don't know many vampires, so I don't know many. I only know one person who used to eat blood, so he's a vampiric Wiccan, or so he claimed. He was also into competitive parkour. An interesting dude. Now he works in crime scene cleanup as of last time I checked. Where he just like cleans up bodies and dead people after car accidents and shit. What about blood pancakes? Never had them. Couldn't tell you. But those I would assume would be cooked, right? Like, cooked blood is not raw blood. Raw blood's what's bad for you. Cooked blood's fine. You can absolutely eat cooked blood. A la, like, black pudding and such. The various soups made from blood. Wisdom teeth removal is fun. Can confirm. Wisdom teeth removal, I drank a lot of blood that week. And it was all my own. At least I think it was. Mighty weird if it wasn't. I don't know how else it would have gotten in my mouth if it wasn't mine. They are cooked. You can buy them from the store here. I mean, I would try that. Sounds interesting. I am actually a vampire. I mean, that would make me significantly cooler in life. Why am I bleeding someone else's blood? That would, yeah, exactly. Unless you have like some severe like body dysmorphia going on. Which would be its own level of concerning for different reasons.
Thanks to AdAnimal104 for my sub gift. Crypt Happy Cooler 1, yay.
I've actually like lost count of how many months that's been going on, but Cooler, thanks for clicking the button to keep Animal's sub gift notifications rolling in, so that we remind everybody that Animal is a very generous person. Man, we had so much money in savings, now I have to import all this fucking jewelry. This game. Such a waste of money. Where's your beer gone? The beer emoji will work. Unless you want to subscribe to twitch.tv/BLINDIRL. That'll bring the beer back. Such as that. Thank you very much for the Prime Gaming subscription, which is included with your Amazon Prime account. Why do they keep designating that? I've never... Oh. I guess it's, like, not accessible. But thank you very much for the Prime Gaming included with Amazon Prime linked to Twitch account subscription. Goes a long way. Do add up. Cheers. And enjoy the ad-free viewing. Courtesy of Prime Gaming. I cannot, like, unironically say Prime Gaming. It's just such a silly naming convention. Use it for the TV series. Yeah. Who would want prime numbers to game? You know, I haven't really thought about prime numbers actively since I had to do that level in Math Blasters when I was like 10. Now whenever prime numbers come up, I just look them up. I did a very good job learning from Math Blasters, clearly. Also, if one other person has a resub, now's a good time to pop it. Well, train. You don't have to, though. It's just there. Stocks. 573. My only problem with like this resource UI is it doesn't seem to be in any logical order to me. Thanks for the $1, Orange. And for the Prime Gaming subscription for 25 months. This is from Axon. Cheers, Ming.
Woo.
The number 1 spot on the leaderboard's a bit expensive this month, thanks to a certain very generous donator. But number 2 is only like $2.04, I think. 4 cents. Because that's what Rory's at right now. I haven't touched Windows 11. I know almost nothing about it. I know that it like reorganizes some UI that some people really don't like, but I know almost nothing else about it. Let's unlock better housing, actually. Because these are the individual housing things. Thanks for the $2.97, Darren. And Frog with the 5 gift subs. Cheers, man. Notifications seem delayed. What about administration stuff? Chamber, that's what I'm looking. That's what these are called. But seriously, Axon with the 25 months on Prime, Darren with the $2.97, and Frogfire with the 5-pack gift subs, gifting subs to Oda Toda, Lawful Sus, Alligator, Fuckhouse, Raz Fane, and Paranoid Metroid. Re-upping that sub on Paranoid Metroid, which is funny. Let's just like plop a couple of these in. Don't have any gems, so we'll need to import some. That's an awesome username. It depends on whether or not you're above or below the age of 16. If you're below the age of 16, it's Alligator Funkhouse. But if you're above the age of 16, then it's Alligator Fuckhouse. Alligator's a good dude. He plays some cool games too. He streams Caves of Cud sometimes. Most recently watching him play what's it called? Prison Architect. It's like 200 bits to get it up to the next level. Although, like, you know, if he goes to and if he eats too many burgers in his life, then he can become the Alligator Brick House. He's a brick house. Thanks for the $2, Ovo. Cheers, man. I'd say I'd get a beer if it hits level 5, but I don't really want a beer right now, so. Do you actually have beer, though? So we are just waiting on jewelry. Just waiting on the imports of jewelry. None coming currently. Is that mine actually putting anything out? The question. +0. Man. It's like no gems there. So much beer today. It's a lot of beer. Keeping the channel funded. I guess I could edit this and try and get less jewelry in it. Not enough grandeur. How about these? Kinda dislike my grandeur rating being so low. Almost drowning in digital booze. This is I mean, Chad, post enough beer to drown in digital booze, and I'll be impressed. So that's just clay. This one here's ore, right? That's coal. That's also clay down there. Yeah, I don't know, man. This is not great for gems. We have to invade somewhere that has gems. Such lack of gems is such sad, yes. Oh, it very much is. Also changes the visual of your city. Also, we need about, I think, about 7 gift subs to level up the train again, which is kind of a lot. That's approximately how much we need from 3% there. Probably like, I don't know, about $30 in bits, which is expensive, so. Thanks for the little train, guys. Appreciate it. Keeping the show funded. I'm very torn on what interview I should focus on next. I've got a few devs that are interested, but like there's King Under the Mountain, which is a possibility because that dev's interested, but I feel like that game might just be way too early. I've got some live ones coming up in March. I'm going to try and have Epion on again when that game gets its update, when Jupiter Hell gets its update. Thanks very much for the little hype train chat with 597 bits, $5.97 in bits, and 8 gift subs. Although some of those are resubs, it just reads them out as 8 subs. But 8 subs. Cheers, guys. Is there a max hype level? Level 5 is the maximum level, and then you can over percentage level 5. But if you put the sub train at the hardest difficulty, there are extra emotes if you get it to level 5 at that difficulty, but it's like 20 gift subs to level up level 1 at the maximum difficulty, whereas I have it set so that it's 5. Or I think it's, I think level 1's 4 and then level 2 is 5. Gonna speed this up to maximum because I want those gem imports. Kind of watch the resources and the happiness. There we go. Okay, so there is coal that is outbound then. Are selling coal. Just don't have enough money. Let's try and import smaller number of items because I don't need to import so many all at once. Means potentially we could get more of them, but doesn't look like we're having much luck. So we're also gonna try and import gems. You got a discount FG emote. Yeah, FG was real happy about those. I personally, I don't know if this is a popular opinion or not, but Twitch has devalued emotes to the point where, like, emotes don't matter anymore, which really sucks. There was a good long while there where emotes were, like, the most important thing to a streamer because, like, the quality of your emotes dictated whether or not people would be interested in supporting you, more or less. FG's emotes are good, yeah. But now, like, there are so many global emotes that, like, emotes just don't matter. And it kind of sucks. I don't know. I lament the death of emotes at large. That which is kind of poisoned that well to a degree. Also, for those of you who don't know, me and my stream team, Halcyon Frequency, has started a new podcast. on a more positive note, first episode has been very successful by our standards. We got a lot more listens than we were expecting. Not like crazy, like overwhelming numbers, but definitely more listens than we were anticipating. So very happy about that. If you'd like to give it a listen and help us out, that would go a long way. And you can find it right there. And if you really want to help us out, you can leave us a review on iTunes. That would super duper help us out. Because getting reviews on of podcasts is like convincing people to part with their firstborn child. It's difficult. So we can make a cooking station. Bar. This is my first canteen in this entire city, so about time we make these. What, for reviews on iTunes? I already paid you, Cooler. I don't need to pay you more. Unless there's more art that you need to draw for me. I'm still waiting on the art that you owe me, so. I mean, if you want me to give you a bonus to leave me a review on iTunes, I would consider it. I'm not actually joking. But that has to be an agreed upon terms when I'm sending you your paychecks for the art that you owe me. Cooler's working on some art for me currently, actually. We're redoing all the panels for Beneath the Stream. We're giving them kind of a facelift, as well as a new YouTube banner. Because frankly, the other one's old dated. And frankly, I don't know anybody who wants to date my YouTube banner, so we should definitely change it. You know, now you can go watch human sacrifices in this temple and then come right over here for lunch. It's great. I'm sure people will love it. Can't believe I've lasted this long without making a single one of these. Like, I do have the tavern down here, but this is my first canteen. Flavor! Nah. So now they bring foodstuffs here. Once they bring foodstuffs, people will get happier. But they need food. There you go. Meat's now available. Fruits were available for a second there. They really should bring bread up here. Fuckloads of bread. It's just a matter of getting it up here. Do you have bread storage up here? No. Drop this down. Increase bread storage. We're gonna ship some bread up here. I'm gonna change your your destination to this one. Ship the bread a little further up so that it gets here. There we go. Bread. Not a lot of meals, but at the very least, they have food. Good. In this game, poor management. If you piss off your population by growing too quickly or overworking them, that can fail them. This game's pretty easy once you kind of figure out the methods of it. Like right now, there isn't a lot of fail states, but the game's also very unfinished. So because the game's like not balanced for difficulty yet, as long as you pace things out and don't like expand too quickly and don't let in too many people all at once, it's pretty easy to not fail in this game. This game's not really a game where you fail super frequently right now. Which I don't mind. I actually kind of like it. It's a nice, I mean, you can definitely fail if you buy a lot of slaves and free a lot of them real quickly. Or have a, like, say, if I have a very large population of orcs and then I suddenly enslave all of them, that'll like, not fail me, but, like, if I don't have enough military to hold down the population, that would cause issues. Not giving them things that they demand would do it, like if I just didn't give them toilets, for example. But as long as like you kind of expand in a logical fashion, it's pretty easy to fail in this game. Getting invaded will do it too. Going to war with somebody and not having a lot of military will do it. Yeah. Also, apparently Discord Nitro is turning 5. I took this screenshot earlier. You know, normally people get it kind of like happy. It's like, oh hey, like this feature's been around for a while. It's a nice feature. It's a good service. And then I look at this and I go, Nitro's turning 5. Couldn't have done it without it. Watch for more Nitro goodies this year. Thanks for being awesome. And I look at that and I go, oh no, they're gonna announce NFTs, aren't they? Like literally, I look at that and I'm just like, oh god, don't do it. Just don't do it, Discord. Don't do it. Don't be one of them. And they're going to. It's just a matter of when. I'm like distressed at a few gems and jewelries there are around here. At least we're able to import some gems. Or rather, they are imported. I just need to... Jeweler. Workshop 8. Where the fuck's Workshops 8? It's off the screen, that's why. Which I also can't afford. Another 1,000 research for the jeweler. That is a route that we could go, just make our own jeweler. Will I switch Messenger if they do? No, but I'll be very sad. I'll stop using my Discord mug. That's what I'll do. I know that that's not much of a threat, but like, unfortunately at this point, my entire business is so baked into Discord. If they do something silly like that, I kind of don't really have any option. Like, realistically, that kind of is the situation there. It would be like if I don't know, my landlord started selling NFTs. It's like, well, I still have to rent this apartment. Like, I can't really up and move, unfortunately. I mean, yeah, I did. I'm looking at you, Stalker 2. I still want that game to be good in my heart, but I don't know. That game's gonna be a trash fire. Even if it ends up being good eventually, it certainly won't be good at launch, so. They will have, hold on a second. They have to announce the NFT to get the smack they will have coming for doing it. That's a hard to read sentence, Frog for Hire. You fully buy the theory that they only did it for publicity? I think they did it because they legitimately need money in regards to GSC Game World. Because GSC Game World is notorious for releasing unfinished games because they run out of money. So, that's my theory. Now has more issues than just NFTs? What have you heard of in specific? Because I've heard of several. I need more paper. Where did I put the paper maker? Pretty sure I had a paper maker. There you are. This guy. Because paper uses wood, so we're gonna attach this to up here. It's a thinner building, but that's okay. But they will work together like that without it caving in, I think. Not be able to fill the roof in. I'm actually just going to delete room, get rid of all this. So that one. Let's do those three. This is going to take a lot of metal that I don't currently have. Wait, is the Molyneux effect just like never having any money for things? You saw a messenger similar to Discord, and the person was demonstrating it was like, look at this, and it's even more than Discord. If so, you ever feel like switching? This is your thing. There's two. There's one called I think there was something called Something Cast, which was like built on Fortnite's voice technology. I remember because they had a big ass fucking booth at PAX, and they were like calling aside anybody with Discord shirts on and just saying, hey, you're a Discord partner. You want to talk about, we're trying to compete with that. Do you want to talk with us? And I talked with them for a little bit, and like, it seemed neat, but like all of the Discord competitors that I've seen are like trying to get into the like Grand Theft Auto RP market of having a lot of people simultaneously in voice chat, or like Battlefield scale games market, where it's just like, again, just a lot of people in voice chat, which there is various alternatives to Discord, but there isn't anybody right now that has the same level of market usage as Discord. But also Discord hasn't announced NFTs yet, so I don't need to panic. But yeah, they're kind of a monopoly. they're kind of like the platform of the platform capitalism for the main platform for voice chat. I definitely are that currently. I need to those differently because they don't have roof coverage. Yeah, they're the king platform holder of talking for nerds. I don't know. I don't think that it's that much of a. They cancel all these jobs. Remove. Oh, maybe I do need to have jobs to remove all that stuff. There we go. This uses way less steel because of how I'm doing it. Well, I'll say this. Large portion of my success as a creator and building a community is because of Discord. So, and a lot of games are in the same situation. I hated Mumble. I remember using Mumble, and like I willingly went back to TeamSpeak after using Mumble for a bit because TeamSpeak was just better. I can't remember why I hated Mumble so much. I want to say it like just had weird connection issues. It's like mostly all I remember about Mumble. Mumble was so fucking bad it made me appreciate TeamSpeak. Yep, that's about like how I felt too. That is a hell of a statement. Does anybody remember Raid? Not Raid Shadow Legends, but Raid is in like the voice chat software. It was around the same time as Mumble and all those others. Raid Call, that was it, yeah. Yeah, Raid Call. I never used it. I just remember it having its own account, and I remember not being enthused by it having its own account. Don't generally like things that have their own account associated with them, so just kind of didn't use it because of that. Yeah, well, I mean, this was before Discord normalized like using your own account for voice chat. Like, we were still used to Ventrilo at that point, where it was just like, yeah, just like type in a name and that's what you are. No password. But Raid Call you needed a password and like a login ID, and you had to sign up with an email, and that was a big no-no for us at the time. I mean, eventually we accepted it. At the very least, we do have gems. So what I'm going to need to do is, we are able to import gems. I'm not able to import jewelry, but we're able to import gems. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to get 1,000 research or 1,000 knowledge, which is why I'm building these paper makers so that we can increase our knowledge amount. And then once we do that, then we can research jewelry makers and then make our own jewelry. It's because one game you were following is using it with including events. You know, honestly, I don't like the concept of platform capitalism. It scares the shit out of me, but fucking hell, it's convenient when it works. And Discord's one of those instances of it working, you know? Like, I'm at a point now where, like, I have two, not one, but two Discord servers now for my family. Like, it's me, my sisters, my parents, my aunt, my uncle, and future in-laws and other people. And it's just, like, it's so fucking convenient. Like, it's the way I managed to get my entire, like, immediate family off of Facebook was with Discord. I kind of don't want Discord to change. What game was it, Cooler? Because, like, I'm trying to think of, like, games that included any kind of, like, non-Discord integration. And I can't think of any games that use, like, raid call or anything specifically. Although I have joked that if Discord burns, that I'll just make an IRC server. Just go back to IRC. Fun multiplayer shooter? Okay, so it failed like all of those do. Gotcha. So we're almost up to 2,000 citizens. Well, that sucks. Sounds like funding issues, probably. It's unfortunate. I'm trying to think of like shooters that had neat concepts that didn't last long enough. Remember like the franchise Blacklight? Did anybody here play Blacklight? Blacklight Retribution, I want to say was the name of it. The one that I played. If there's still a Steam page for that game. Probably not, because they did shut the servers down. I still have a Steam page for it. No, I mean, maybe that wasn't the name of it? Damn, now I'm trying to think of the name of it. What was the name of that? It was the game that was kind of like Call of Duty, but you had a wall hack button. You had like a button on a cooldown and you could press it and then you could see through walls and see where everybody was. So it became like very much like a game about like managing that cooldown, and it had like a mech suit and shit and like wall running. It was I remember it being like kind of a lot of fun. At least I think it. Marketing was questionable? Yeah. I mean, marketing is hard, dude. As somebody who tries to market himself, it's hard. And keeping people's interest is also difficult. As somebody who has to keep people's interest in his streams in order to survive, like, it's difficult. They sold cosmetics as DLCs? Oh, you mean like not an in-game shop, but like it's like Steam DLCs? Huh. That seems odd. Why'd you do that? Like, you're also like giving yourself 30% less money on every sale by doing it that way. It's easy on paper, but hard to properly execute. Yep. I generally use the harassment approach to marketing, which is simply harass your audience until they listen. Which is why, if you like these streams and you want to support me, please don't like promote that twit in my chat. Thanks, Shinguards. Which is why, if you want to support me, here's a link to my Patreon. That's actual marketing. Yeah, I don't like people who use like cheap knockoff memes to promote YouTube channels and their like game that they're allegedly working on. So that's why I don't really want you promoting that person in my chat, Shinguards. Literally just like taking money away from people who are trying to make like, you know, games that they're putting effort into by clogging up the Steam store with free crap. It's like the worst outcome of the Steam store being powered by algorithms. It's like if the Steam store wasn't powered by algorithms, by a popularity algorithm, then memes wouldn't change that. It would only be sales. Because it's based on popularity and you could put whatever the fuck up there for $100. Like, gross. I hate it. I hate it. Doesn't benefit anybody. It's just a negative. Net negative. Force all the employees on there. I mean, I wouldn't say it goes south. I mean, like, see, here's the thing, right? If there's somebody who does something that's kind of shitty to promote their own shit, right? And you freely promote them everywhere, what does that do exactly? You know, the reason those games do super well is they are meme-happy, free games that get chucked up on the Steam store at no cost to the developer, more or less, at which point they then promote them with a very popular YouTube video to throw their audience of 12-year-olds at the video game, which then boosts it to the top of the store, thus being incredibly effective marketing, but also taking money away from people because that advertising part or thing that they're advertising is free and accessible and meme heavy. So there are games that are competing for that limited storefront shelf space, trying to sell products, whereas somebody is just usurping that by using a completely different business model, which is fine, and you can do that. I just don't like it promoted in my chat. It's not going south. It's just simply, like Stone says, having standards. No, I'm not saying that part is a meme. The game that person puts out, the games that person puts out are completely worthless. Like, it is quite literally shovelware. Like, if that person, you know, put a ton of effort into learning development systems and put those games up for free on itch, I wouldn't take issue, because that's what itch is for, right? Putting them on Steam takes possible sales away from people that are trying to make a living, when that person is making more than enough money off of their own YouTube videos to ever need to, you know, compete in a marketplace. I think that Steam has a clutter problem, and people that actively promote that clutter, I think that's gross. It's just like I will talk shit from here to hell and back about Playway SA for promoting the prologue style of, development, where every game on Steam doesn't have one Steam page, it has two. One that's free, that's their demo, and then the other one is, the actual game, which kind of proves that Steam demos are not in a great place, but also clogs the marketplace. Thus, half of the time, you'll go to Steam and you'll look at the recent popular releases, and they're all free demos for games that are coming out in 8 months. That is a very unhealthy marketplace. Right? Like, if you want healthy competition in a marketplace, it has to be a level playing field. And those people are just making it an unlevel playing field, which sucks, and I hate that. That fantasy strategy game you were playing the other day. Other day? Define the other day. I was gonna say, yeah, like I played Paparazzi, but that's definitely not a fantasy strategy game I played recently. You're not thinking of, like, 4 months ago. That is not the other day. Go scroll down my YouTube channel. I have no idea. I mean, like, Conquest of Elysium 5? But that's not a fighting game. I couldn't tell you the last time I played a fighting game, my dude. Maybe, like, a decade ago I played a fighting game? Duck Game is, like, actually, Athros' comment is probably the closest thing. But I think you're probably thinking of Conquest of Elysium, but that is the strangest way of describing it. But also, Shinguards, I would actually say that I probably have standards that are too high when it comes to, like, etiquette and shit. So, like, if anything, you're not at fault with that. It's me that's at fault with that. I shouldn't have standards that are that high. I should step a little lower and just, like, accept that, memes are a valid format of marketing. I don't think that, like, beating other people out of the marketplace should be acceptable in any format, regardless of whether or not that's Steam or the music industry or art. It's pushing other people out of the marketplace is shitty, even if it's, like, taking a lot of skill to do that. It just sucks. Obscure Indie Gamer, thanks for the raid. Thanks for bringing some friends over. I hope that you enjoyed your time with Songs of Six. Looking at Songs of Six AI and how fast it takes over the map, have you checked like how many hours you are out of conquering other regions on the map? I've never tried to conquer other regions on the map because the combat's not particularly interesting to me. I don't know. I'm just here to build a city, dude. I wait for people and children to starve to death, apparently. Probably, yeah, Axum. Also, like, I work pretty hard to keep the population up in this city, and I think throwing them into a meat grinder isn't really what I have in mind here. Which is kind of what the combat is in this game, is very much a meat grinder. Also, I have enough research for the thing I need. All right. Could I fit you? It's probably under here is where I need to put it. Unless I want to delete a bunch of housing, which I kind of don't want to do. It doesn't require a huge brain to play, and if DF has a smaller entry barrier, that's just better for DF. What person said that yesterday? I wasn't streaming yesterday, so I didn't see anybody say that yesterday. Who said that? It wasn't somebody from my chat, was it? Not here? Okay. What are you asking what I would say to that person? Because I would say that somebody saying that probably has some self-esteem issues. I mean, if you're saying that I play a video game and this video game require big smart brain person to play, and you also need to have big smart brain in order to play it, and that's how the only way I feel good about myself, is probably what they're actually saying. To anybody who says that, I would generally say, like, you have some self-esteem problems that you need to work on in your own time. It's very low that you think that you need to hold other people away from a game that you enjoy playing because you think that it is some sort of statement on your own intelligence, when in reality it's a format of entertainment. And entertainment should be accessible and enjoyable as the artist designs it, the creator designs it, right? And if you restrict people from being able to enjoy your media, what's the point making it? So this is going to start making me jewelry, which is what we need. And what does that have to do with anything? Obscure indie gamer. Reading a book requires imagination too, because of its lack of graphics. Now, they can't get into the game because the game makes them feel dumb? Well, then they just need to imagine that they have a bigger penis. They need to grow some balls, apparently. I don't know. Like, people seem to think that, like, games need to... I mean, like, at the end of the day, if you don't like something because it doesn't give you fulfillment, then don't play it. But also, like, don't go saying stupid shit like that. It's just not true. I mean, it is awful. The UI in Dwarf Fortress is obtuse and kind of crappy. It's fine once you kind of wrap your head around it. Like, there is a logic to it, and once you understand the logic that it works under, as strange as it is, that's what we need next. Silton Mine for this stuff. Once you understand its weird format of illogical logic-ish things, there is a point where it makes sense and you're able to play it. But, like, yeah, it's at a first glance and initial attempts, it is a clusterfuck. Clusterfuck I enjoy, but... Number one, yes, you're missing out if you're unable to get past the look of Dwarf Fortress. And number two, that's not a problem that the game can solve. And the Steam version will not solve that. If you don't like the look of something, move on. Go play other things. Don't worry about it. But the thing that, like, bothers me isn't when people are just like, I don't like the look of it. What bothers me is, I don't like the look of it, but it also make me feel dumb and require big fancy thing to do. I'm like, fuck off. Like, you just... People want to play the game, but they also want to make a shit ton of excuses as to why they can't play the game and as to why the game is inaccessible to them because it uses letters of the alphabet. And then, like, you're just like, but, like, install a graphics pack. And they're like, other line of excuses, and it's like, it's just exhausting. It's like, fuck off. Like play the game if you want, don't if you don't. Quit complaining to me about it not looking the way you want it to look. People seem to be able to play chess just fine, and it has abstract symbols for its pieces. It's just a matter of learning what they do. It's just, the game requires a lot of effort to learn and play. It's a bit much for some people. And yeah, people play Go just fine, yeah, and all the pieces look the same. How can you tell them apart? There are tile sets that, and like Dwarf Fortress Vanilla, like Curse's ASCII looks gorgeous. If you build a nice looking fort, like you can absolutely make it look like a work of art. And there are tile sets that are extremely well drawn and beautiful. Quite a few of them, in fact. So I don't know. I think it is the most frustrating game in the world to try and help people to get into, because people just make excuses for the sake of making excuses to not play it, even though they want to play it. And I will never fully understand that. It's like, if you want to play a game, play it. If you don't want to play a game, shut up. Leave me alone. But if you want to learn how to play the game, I can absolutely help you. And often when people just kind of accept the help and put in a little bit of effort and learn how to play the game, they then very quickly realize, oh, this isn't so bad. I don't know. The tildes, Monkey Monk Monk? Yeah, I agree. I mean, my excuse, Tapioca, is or my example for people who are just like, Dwarf Fortress is too visually confusing. It's like, look at Endgame Civ and tell me what every single icon means. Or look at Endgame Humankind or any other 4X and tell me what every single icon means. It's exactly the same thing. Oh, I was asking if you like the tildes from Curses, because that's what water is by default. It's little tildes. I mean, I love the way waves look in vanilla DF with no graphics. That make you feel excited? Do you have an idea how excited I got the first time I successfully built a door in Dwarf Fortress? God, that was like one of the greatest moments of my Dwarf Fortress career, was building a door successfully. Watching them put it on hinges, I was like, oh my god, it worked! Holy shit! We're getting some heat deaths. Specifically up in these farms. It does for a while, and then after a while it just becomes another game that you play, and it stops feeling like as much of an accomplishment, but... This is going to be a very small warehouse. It's for, gems. Jewelry. Building a game that you didn't enjoy playing? Can I ask what kind of game? You don't have to say if you can. I'm more just kind of curious about what kind of game you don't enjoy playing than anything. Alright, anywhere with gems. Gems. Star Stable. Congratulations. It's a game I've never heard of. But also, it's an MMO for girls about horses. I wonder if my little sister played that. What year was this? Like, I think that might actually be something my little sister played for a bit. If this was like web-based MMO era, then that might have actually been sister played. Was that the settings menu for the warehouses inventory? This is the warehouses menu, yeah. You can filter between warehouses and see. These are all of the warehouses I have constructed, yeah. And then this is everything that gets stored here. You can set to fetch. Oh, you want to see detailed stuff? Here, I'll show you detailed stuff. You start looking at the population's happiness, and then you look at like their like priorities. Like this is just about one of the species you can have. And like their likes and dislikes. They hate wrongful deaths. They hate immigrants. These guys, what do they like? They hate wrongful deaths and they hate new people. They hate former slaves. They hate slaves. They hate starving. That's natural. They don't like noise. They don't like corpses. They don't like desecrated statues and stuff. They don't like opposition. They don't like threats from other species. They like drinks. They like canteens. They really like having food rations. Like flat houses. Imagine liking starving. Well, I mean, I think that's called having an eating disorder. Everybody hates humans, which I think is kind of funny, actually. Most of the people hate humans, and most of the people hate the bug lizard people. I'm not sure. Are these bugs or lizards? Actually, no. It might be lizards. Also, hey, Tekid. Doing well. You think that they're lizard folks? I think that they're bugs because of the way their nurseries look. They look like weird bug hives, but... All right. They have wizards. There is no magic in this game that I'm aware of. This is very low fantasy. All right. Well, that's gonna take 10,000 years to build. Chat. I'm gonna quickly go get me some lunch. Just going to pause the game. So I will be gone for a couple of minutes. I'm not trying to hate on bugs, bug. I will be gone for a couple of minutes while I quickly grab myself some foods. So don't go anywhere too fast unless you really want to. If you want to support the stream directly, here's a link to the Patreon. And we'll listen to this podcast. I will be back in 5. BRB.